If you're starting your YouTube channel or you're already in the middle of it and feeling stuck, this series is for you. We are going to borrow everything we can from Hollywood's model of how to make a movie, taking it through the 6 steps, all the way from development to collecting their tickets or their sales. This is part 2 of our Hollywood series, and this is all about pre-production, what you should be doing the day before and the week before you film. I'm Ali Barr. I'm a producer for over 20 years, and I'm going to be your video ally or your guide today as you're looking at ways you can improve your channel, or hopefully, if you're getting ready to do it, you can plan ahead. This is step 2, which is pre-production. Pre-production assumes that you've already done all of the work of development, so it's making a lot of assumptions. It's a way for you to check and see, am I really ready to go into pre-production on my channel? Or do I need to back up a little bit and make sure I handle development? Like I said, pre-production phase assumes you've already finished certain things. Number 1, you've had an extensive development phase of just finding ideas and researching things out there that interest you, that you would like to do, and you've settled on your favorites. Pre-production goes beyond the ideation phase and into the gathering phase. This is where you already have your budget in place for the movie. If it's a movie, you are now going to hire your director, your actors, your crew, everything you need. You're going to get the gear that you want. You're going to have your locations rented. And this is where you really are putting the pieces together. What does that mean for you with YouTube? Let's go to your list so that you can be as ready as possible before your first day of filming. If you're going into YouTube to be serious, in it to win it, as they say, you are going to be consistent. So plan your dates. Just like on a movie, you would have to have your film dates ready. I would encourage you to set dates on your calendar for the first 3 to 6 months so that you know seriously in your mind that those are the days you are going to film. And you're not going to back out. You're not going to change it. You have made an appointment with yourself for your company to film on those days. Next is gathering your gear. Unless you already have something around the house that you feel comfortable you can use, this is the time where, if you already in development, we're seeking out, do I like Canon cameras? Do I like Sony's? Am I going to use my phone? What am I going to use for a tripod? Now is the time to put that budget on the line and go purchase your equipment, and then double check that you have all the pieces and accessories needed, because sometimes with your lighting, just buying a light stand and the light isn't enough. Oftentimes you're going to need an umbrella clamp to soften your light. I chose a little harder light today, and often I'll use an umbrella to give it a soft and diffuse look. But today I'm just going with the panels. Those are decisions you're going to want to make, and you're going to want to gather those. The umbrella clamp will hold an umbrella in front of your light so you'll have diffusion. And if you're working alone, that's really helpful to know you have go-to equipment. You can just set it and leave it. Number 3, you would want to go to your script. All of the ideas that you have, the bullet points, look at your scripts, and then I would say before you film, compare your outline to other videos in your genre or your niche on YouTube and see how they're delivering, especially their introductions. That first 15 to 17 seconds is where you're either going to keep them or lose them. That is usually where people click away and look at a different video. It's so critical to have your main message and purpose in that first 15 to 17 seconds. So I encourage you to write a pain point and a hook for every video before your filming day. Because once you turn the cameras on like this, sometimes those ideas don't come. Other items you want to gather ahead of time for your filming day, just as if you were going to the studio to work with us or someone else, you want to have your wardrobe set aside. Plan on a few different outfits so that you don't have weeks and weeks in one shirt. You can have a change of clothes so that your videos will also have some variety, and nobody will know when you film them, especially if you were filming them all on the same day. Have a little bit of variety to your look and your backdrop. If you want to move around different parts of the room, it's not necessary, but if you feel like that's part of your brand, then by all means do that. Plan for that. Thumbnails are a really important part of pre-production. You actually want to have it on either on a spreadsheet or something with all of your ideas with your thumbnail planned ahead. Nowadays, it's just like your movie poster. You have your concept and title, and you have your thumbnail design. And most people are going to choose to watch your video based on the thumbnail and not on the title. So plan ahead so that you will visually draw them in so they'll click on your video and not on the one above or below it. Another important part of pre-production is gathering your post-production tools. So the day of your shoot, I encourage you to already have your hard drive and computer lined up that you're going to be working from. When you go out to purchase all of your camera gear, your audio, your lighting, that's a good time to go and purchase your hard drive as well. And I recommend a 2 to 5 terabyte editing drive. If you can, get a solid state drive. You'll love working off of that. We'll talk a little bit more about how you want to organize all your footage later in this series on post-production. But you do want to have your hard drive before the day of filming because you do have to back up your footage the day you film. If you leave all the footage on your card or in your camera and you don't immediately put it into a file or system at least the evening of the filming or the next morning, it's very easy to lose your content and also get too far away from it so that if you had some kind of problem with the footage, you couldn't easily go right back the next day and hurry and reshoot that part. We'll talk more about that in the post-production part of this series. Finally, in your planning, is just remember that as soon as you are done on the other side of this pre-production, right after the filming, you want to be ready to deliver to your editor or to yourself if that's you. So have a system in place with tracking. On our team, we have a spreadsheet that has everything planned out even before the day of filming so that as we film, we can easily put the footage in with the audio file and the camera file, the idea, the topic, the thumbnail, everything in one place so that as the editors are working on it, it just rolls right out without any questions as to what the video is or what all the elements are that go with it, especially if you have inserts or slides or pictures or graphics that you need to include in the video. All those things should be done before you film it so you don't have to go afterwards and make a bunch of notes. That concludes the most important tips for your pre-production phase. Stay tuned for part 3 of this series where we start talking about actual production, the filming day. But remember, it's only the middle of the process. There are 6 full steps. As your video allies, we've provided some links below to get more education, including ways you can talk to a human if you have questions about your camera, your lighting, what to say on YouTube, or maybe if you're tired of filming yourself and you would like a consulting producer or someone to do the whole service for you, we have every option to make YouTube easy for you. We're your video allies. You've got this, we've got your back, and we can't wait to see what you create.